Hello. This is Rhapsody, your friendly neighborhood growth hacker, aka the Reverend Dr. Rhapsody, aka Mr. Transformer, aka Rhapsody Barrero, rocking my favorite ice on shirt. You, Cat Street. Alright. And we're in the last 4 days of the Alpha Core campaign. Make sure you make your way to rippaverse.com. That's RIPPAVERSE.com. Get your Alpha Core #1. Outstanding story. If you missed out on ISOM #1 and ISOM #2, pick those up. And they've got all kinds of neat and cool, awesome merchandise. The posters are perfect. And interestingly enough, I was the thing I was going to mention today was that nothing's perfect. But I would say the posters are as close to perfect as they can come because they're not indestructible. You can probably rip them. I wouldn't try to rip mine. I'm still contemplating laminating them because they're such great quality that I hate the idea of them getting messed up somewhere online. And I like the idea of being able to pass them down to the grandkids if they want them. So, like I was saying, nothing's perfect. And perfection, or the idea, perfection is a farce. And some people use the idea of perfection as a way to not take action. And it's easier because what you're taking action on could be something that would maybe be socially disquieting, so to speak, or something that might make some people uncomfortable. But you have to use that for an excuse if you're using the excuse of perfection. It's like, I have to get this perfect camera, and I have to get this perfect stand, and I have to get these perfect lights, and it needs to be the perfect time of year in case I want to shoot outside, and I have to get this perfect outfit. And all it is just a way for you to not take action, to not do the things that you know that you need to do, that you're supposed to do. Because if you got the idea in your head that it's something that you're supposed to do, that means it's something that you're supposed to do, and you specifically. Because so many times, the perfect example that I like to muse on, or that comes to mind automatically, is there was a song by Barry Manilow, the one that put him on the map, Could It Be Magic? Taken from Chopin's Funeral March, in D minor, dirge, or call it whatever you like. And before it came out, my older sister, who's the musician in the family, we all know how to play different instruments, but she's really the musician. She's got a guitar, she's got a keyboard, she plays. But she was like, I heard this piece, and I was thinking I should probably do something with it and turn it into something. And a period of time passed, and then Could It Be Magic came out. And she was like, missed out on that opportunity. And that's just the way it goes if you don't take action on what is put in your head to take action on. Because, like I say, it went into your head because you're supposed to be the one doing it. If somebody else was supposed to be doing it, they would be the one thinking about it. They would be the one setting up the plan. They would be the one talking to the people. They would be the one doing the research. And they would be the one getting the thing done. But it was you. The plan came to you. The thought came to you. The idea came to you because you were the one. And if you are like some people, you might be using or might have used the idea of perfection to halt the progress of this wonderful project that's going to make the world a better place, this wonderful project that's going to help people grow, this wonderful project that's going to help people feel better about themselves, but they're not going to get to, not through this venue, because you didn't take the action. I didn't mean to get up on here to beat up on people. I just take this stuff as it comes, okay? Okay. Me love you long time. I mean no malice whatsoever. Unless malice will get you off your ass, then I mean malice. Malice, malice, malice. Okay, okay, to go through the list, nothing's perfect. Like I remember for me, the first time ever that I moved into this really, really nice new apartment complex. And prior to that, I was living in a trailer. Prior to that, I was living in a hotel room on the beach. It was on the beach, so I didn't care. But yeah. But I remember after moving everything in, looking at the stuccoed ceiling, laying down on my bed, thinking to myself, wow, this is great. Too bad it's not going to last very long because I knew that I couldn't afford it. So 2 months later, we were one of those horrible people in the dead of night emptying the house into a truck, and we were out of there. So they're on my list of amends, financial amends of people that I need to get back to with 2 months rent. Okay. And even if something looks perfect, even if something is perfect, nothing perfect lasts for long. The example I have for that is, I remember I was just over 2 years sober in Northern Virginia, and we went to visit this group that was like an hour away from where we were, just me and some of my friends. And I saw this guy sharing at the meeting, and I was like, wow, this guy has a really awesome, intense story. I'm going to have him speak at my 4th anniversary. So, came near the time, I got word to him. He said he agreed to it. Okay, fine. And so he shows up, he speaks at my 4th anniversary. It was great. And that was an example of perfect. I got the perfect speaker that I wanted. I got the perfect person that I wanted to give me my chip, because we take chips for our annual anniversaries. It was my best friend Brenda, my best friend in the whole world. And I always used to say that at the time, I could say it at the time because like now she's married, she's got kids. She's got other guys in her life that will look out for her. But at the time, I always said that like, if the situation came down that I needed to take a life to help Brenda, to protect Brenda, I would go to prison with a smile on my face knowing that my friend was safe. That's just how I felt about her. So she was the one that gave me my chip. So it came time to get the chip, and she gave a speech, she gave me my chip, and we did what my girlfriend at the time referred to as one of our big red hugs. You know, like they had a big red chewing gum commercial, you know, kiss a little longer, hug a little longer. And like we were up there hugging, and I was just, you know, I'm used to the audience. I said, talk amongst yourselves. And we were just sitting there, you know, enjoying each other's company, getting a hug on stage. And I looked out into the crowd. A lot of my friends were there. The guy that I fondly refer to as my gold-plated sponsor, he was there. And his lifelong compatriot, First Sergeant in the Marine Corps, she was there. And it was great. It was good. It was wonderful. It was marvelous. It was excellent. And I just remember the feeling that I got after it was all done, this one perfect thing that happened in my life, and my response was, eh. You would think I'd be going around sing hallelujah, hallelujah, but no, I didn't. I mean, it was a great thing while it happened, while it was happening, while I was there. And after it passed, it was just like so many moments in life that pass and you move on to the next thing. Even though it was perfect. Another example. I bought a new car once in my life. Once. It was an 88 Nissan Sentra. And that reminds me of another story that's connected to that. Prior to that, I was driving around this 79 Ford Fairmont that I got from this used car dealer dude. And I went to trade in this Ford Fairmont for this new 88 Nissan Sentra. And I turned it in, and they were like, yeah. And they came back to me and said, okay, well, we need another $500 in order for you to be able to get this car. After time passed, like years, I looked back on it and realized, oh, I basically paid them $500 to take my car. Because it had been in an accident, the door was bent back, it had some rust on it, not a perfect car. Even though the Nissan Sentra was a perfect car in that it was new, it was not perfect in any other way. It was my first and only new car, and it was stripped down to bare bones. It didn't have air. It didn't have a radio. It, wind up windows, 88, they had power windows then. I didn't have them. Not me. No. All right. So one more time. Okay, I called this perfect, but beautiful, perfect. They're similar, somewhat, sort of. Just different beautiful girlfriends that I've had in my life. And it just amazed me. It really shouldn't, because as men, we are hunter-gatherers. And we hunt, we get food, we bring the food back to the tribe eats, and that's the end of that. So for me and women, the thrill was in the hunt, for most guys. And so I hunt. No, I didn't even really hunt. It just kind of happened. But I just remember these two particular individuals, these two particular times that I had these two beautiful girlfriends. And after a period of time, I actually took them for granted. And it's amazing because at one time, this was the be-all to end-all to all I ever wanted in my existence. And now it's just like an extra shirt that I have in the closet that I'll wear every now and again. I'll wear regularly because it's one of my favorite shirts. But I'm not goo-goo gaga over this shirt. It's just a shirt. All right. Yeah, and luckily none of them were crazy, so that's a plus. And then there was the at-work side piece. I would have called her the work wife, but I didn't need a work wife because it was kind of a thing where I was just doing my own thing for work. I didn't need to help other people. But the work side piece was just a really nice individual, and she was built the way I like for a woman to be built, and I got to enjoy her company for a length of time. And again, it's like, after, like so many guys, I know they call us F-boys or whatever. Look at me, us. Okay. Sorry. But I hit it and it was okay. Nothing to write home about. It was just okay. It was one of those things, I would say, guys and girls, because you've had this happen, where, things were better in your head than they actually worked out to be in person, in actual fact, in actual reality. And then there was the fantasy situation. And the thing about the fantasy situation, it's unfortunate, not unfortunate, it's just the way they worked out. Because the fantasy situation was like so many fantasies, the doctor-nurse fantasy, the doctor-patient fantasy, the nurse-patient fantasy, the teacher-pupil fantasy. A lot of that's more reality nowadays. We don't talk about that. But this one was, of course, the delivery man customer fantasy. Got to fulfill that a couple of times, and the thing was, I was a little annoyed, but then had to face the reality of it was a fantasy. It was not only a fantasy for me, it was a fantasy for the other person as well. Because when things changed, and I was in a position where I could have pursued this further, the other person was like, oh, no, that's okay. We enjoyed a few rolls in the hay, but that's all it was for me. she didn't say this out loud because she was a classy broad. No, she was a classy broad. She is a classy broad. I'm sorry. She is a classy broad. Okay. So, perfection is a misnomer. Perfection is just an excuse for you to not take action, to do what you need to do. If it's for work, if it's for a project, if it's for something above and beyond what you do on your day-to-day that you know will help a lot of people, that you know would help yourself, because you're always going to help yourself when you're helping other people. And the best example I've ever heard, if you're driving from New York to Los Angeles and you're not planning on leaving and you're not going to make the trip until every single light is green between New York and Los Angeles, you will never make the trip. That's the ploy for perfection. That's why what we do is we take a step. Doesn't have to be a big step. Take a small step. Take a step in the direction, progress toward your goal, and then take the next step, and then take the next step. And interestingly enough, it's one of the many things that I got from following my boy Jason Capital, is that you will find that even in the internet way of things, or into whatever you wind up getting into, where you start at will not necessarily be where you end up. What you aim for initially will not necessarily be where you end up. Because what will happen is, when you get to where you're aiming for initially, other lights will turn on, other windows will open, other doors will open, other ideas will enter into your head, other opportunities will present themselves, and you will find yourself marching down another road. Same way that you did to get to that first spot. And that's the way it's supposed to go. That's how we grow. We move forward toward a goal, we hit the goal, maybe take a breath, maybe take a vacation or get a good massage or whatever, and then look around and say, okay, what can we do now? Because the last thing you want to be is bored. The rule is get busy living or get busy dying. And the reality is you don't even have to get busy dying. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit there, Netflix and chill with your case of Bud Light. Okay, enough of that. And your family-sized bag of Cheetos, Netflix, Prime, Apple Plus, whatever you got, and just, make an indelible lump into the couch like I did. Or you can get up off your dead ass, take some action, make some steps, make some things happen, get some guidance from people who have gone where you're trying to go and done what you're trying to do. Don't bother listening to anybody else. Because like I say from my man, Bill O'Brien, my first mentor, the easiest thing to find is somebody walking down the street to tell you why something won't work. It's the easiest thing in the world to find is someone to tell you why this can't happen. Well, we got, the economy, World War III, whatever. Whatever. There's always going to be an excuse why you can't do something. And again, I will say this over and over again because it bears repeating. It bears repetition. It's worth repeating. There are people who make progress, and there are people who make excuses. Nobody does both. Nobody. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Me love you long time. I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy your life until then. Take your action. Make your steps. You'll find that just taking the smallest bit of action makes you happy. Like I found out that I used to put off making videos, and it's silly, but I put off making videos because I saw guys talking about they made a video a day. Then I found out they're like, Gary Vee makes 7 videos a day, but he's got a team. So that was my excuse for that. But like other people who just grew their channels to ridiculous heights, who now that's all they need to do just from making a video a day. So now I'm just making a video a day. And I found 2 things that happened. First thing that happened, the size of my channel increased 50% just making a video a day for a week. So this is gonna keep going. And the other thing was, I found out, came to realize, making videos, after I'm done making a video, after I'm done sharing it out, I feel great. I feel really good. I've done something productive. I have put forth into the universe helpful information to help my fellow man become better, to do better, to get better, to be better. And what else is there to life? The meaning of life, I know initially somebody said it was 42, which might be another meaning. But as far as I know, my understanding is the meaning of life is service. Be of service to your fellow man. Bring quality content to your fellow man. Bring a quality experience to your fellow man or woman. I say man generally, like dude. And you will find yourself just growing internally, and you will find yourself just feeling better about life in general, no matter what's going on outside the door. No matter what the news is telling you. The news is telling you that everything's falling apart, everything's going to pieces. It's not so. I mean, not that it's not, but that shouldn't stop you from doing what you need to do to help the world be a better place and to help you grow as a person. So again, we love you long time. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Yeah.